Would you go up to just any random person on the street and hand them $100, $200, or even more? To do something that's so easy that all you will need to spend is $100 or maybe even less. As summertime is just around the corner, people are getting their cars ready either by doing exterior work or audio system, so everybody can hear them coming. On today's show, you get to learn how to wire an amp into your car so that you can save some money and listen to music the way that it was meant to be listened to.
Hello there, and welcome to another edition of How Do I? On today's show, I'm going to take you through 6 easy steps to wire an amplifier into your car. Here are the 6 steps. Number 1, safety. Number 2, the tools. Number 3, the wiring options. Number 4, the preparation. Number 5, the wiring process. And of course, number 6, the finishing touches. Well, let's get started. The first and most important step is always safety. Let's take a look.
Step number 1, safety. Put the emergency brake on to keep the car from moving when you're working on it. After that, open the hood and go directly to the battery. Disconnect the battery to kill the power supply. This is done to prevent you from hurting yourself or damaging the car.
Remember to be very careful when working with electricity and never let any wires touch bare metal or each other. Step 2 is the tools that you will need. The tools that you will need to complete this project are screwdrivers, wire cutters, wire strippers, your ratchet set, needle nose pliers, and electrical tape. You can also purchase all of these things in a kit such as this one at your local department store if you don't want to get all these individual tools. Step 3 is wiring options. There are so many types of wires to choose from, such as the Rockford Fosgate, the Tsunami brand, and the Power Acoustic, and many, many more. When picking out which wire, it is that you want to keep this in mind. The wires is rated by gauges. The higher the number, the thinner the wire, and the lower the number, the thicker the wire. For example, 18 gauges is what is used for speakers. 00 is a much larger wire, which will let more electricity flow through. Step 4 is the preparation. Let's take a look at what has to be done before you actually start to run the wires.
Step 4, the preparation. After you figure out what type of wires you would like to use, go around into the inside of the car and remove the moldings of the front and back seat. Also, remove the carpet so you have space to run the wires.
Remember to be super careful when removing the molding because they're plastic and they will crack if you pull them too hard. Step 5. Now here comes the fun part, the wiring process. Let's take a look.
Step 5. Running the wires. Start under the hood. Find an opening through the firewall to put the power cable through. Go around to the inside and find where the cable came out through. Pull the entire cable through. There are 3 cables that you must run to the back of the car where the amp will be located. The RCA cable, the remote wire, and the power cable. To make your job a lot easier, run them at the same time. Remove your radio from your car. Run the RCA cable and the remote wire into the spot that it will plug into the radio. Now that all 3 wires are in position, Take all three and run them along the side of the car at the same time to save you some time.
If you're doing this process with a factory stereo, you may have to visit your local car audio store to purchase an RCA converter kit it comes with to complete instructions. Step 6 is the finishing touches. The last and final stage is putting the car's interior back together and making all the connections. Let's take a look.
The finishing touches. After running all the cables to the back of the car where the amp will be located, it is time to clean up. Take the remote wire and connect it to the remote wire that leads to the amp. Either use electrical tape or electrical nut to connect the two. Then plug in the RCA cables, the red to the red and the white to the white. Also plug in the radio harness in the back. Snap the moldings back into place to give it a clean look. You must ground the amp to the chassis of the car before you can connect the amp. Go back to the front and connect.
Make sure that everything is back how it was when you started. In the last 10 minutes or so, you have learned exactly how to wire an amplifier into your car and save a whole bundle of money, simply by following these 6 easy steps. Safety, the tools, wiring options, the preparation, the wiring process, and of course, the finishing touches. I'd like to thank you for joining us for today's program, and hopefully you'll come back week after week to just see just who we've got and how do you. Have a great night, folks.